Hello, beautiful Sag. Welcome to Moonrise Cottage for your March 2018 Soul Tarot reading. This is Mary Ellen in the background, and as promised, I'm starting with the cards, the view of the cards, and I'm actually changing it up a little bit. I'm tweaking as I go along. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber or viewer, it's great to have you back. This month, I am going to begin loading the cards from last month's reading, and we'll start with that to start the flow of energy. And if you've been following along, you know that I've been nudged by my spirit guides to start with the cards because there are messages there that you're going to be able to intuit. So I decided that the videos were getting a little long because of all the toggling back and forth. So we're just going to have the whole spread from February. I'm going to review a little bit, and then we'll jump into March. If you don't know, I'm using the beautiful Celtic Wisdom Tarot deck. I'm going to toggle over and say hello. Hi, everybody. It's great to have you here. The Celtic Wisdom Tarot deck was developed by Caitlin Matthews. She's an amazing person, and you can look her up on Google. She has a whole lifetime, a giant body worth of work. So there's only one announcement this month. The website is up. I've been promising for a while. Please go check it out. It is moonrisecottagesoultarot.com. At the website, all the information that used to be listed below the video is now going to be gone, and the link for the website will be in the description box below the video. So just click on it. It's very well done, thanks to a wonderful one of my subscribers who offered to help. It turned out really beautifully, and you can find all the different types of readings there. It's really easy to use. And, you'll see information about joining the live stream, information about readings. There are various types and lengths of readings. I offer medium services. I'm available to do, what I'm calling couples readings, but meaning any two people, Spirit's nudging me and saying any group, whether it's, Spirit's saying a father and a son, parents, siblings, friends, anything like that. It doesn't have to be a romantic couple. Let's see what else. So, and the energy healing, there's a tab there for that. You can click on any one of those choices, read a little information, click the book it now. It'll take you to my calendar. You will be able to see the slots that are open and book your own reading based on what works for you. And as a reminder, everything is done in New York City time zone for the folks who are international. Let's see, what else is there? I think the only other thing to know is that it's just going to be very streamlined going forward. You'll put your information in, you'll choose your time slot, the website will take you to PayPal, you'll make your reservation, you're going to get a confirmation email, and then the day before your reading, you'll get a reminder. So I'm excited about it. It's really beautiful. And there's a spot there for testimonials. So if any of you folks out there have had a reading, I would love to have just whatever words you want to put there so that other folks who have questions about what it's like to have a reading with me, to delve into your soul journey, they can get a little bit of your experience to help them along their way. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. So I'm going to toggle back to the photo. Let's jump right in. Sag, in February, you are on a very particular type of journey, and what's been unfolding is that there's a particular type of message coming through this month as a general theme for all astrological signs, given their own set point. Individual journeys, Spirit saying, especially queued up just for you because of your energy and the way in which you exist here in this realm with that energy set point. So there was a lot of chatter coming from Spirit about just, know that you are evolving and changing. You were being released into your destiny road. Look at the bottom row of cards. That's the human walk. That's a beautiful story. Another releasing and knowledge coming forward that you are not alone. You are being accompanied by the wisdom holders. And part of your destiny is to develop the will inside your human spirit self to go forward. The last card is the decider of will. It's a lovely transition, because of the way that the cards are lined up, it's a somewhat rapid transition. So we see this notion of someone who's ensnared and is being awakened into the light in order to have their journey, turning the spiral of destiny. I don't know if you can see that in that second card on the bottom left of the card. There's a triple spiral is there. And so this road is to come into your will, your sacred will, through your human existence. The left-hand card in the center row is the bridge card. Clearly, you are in a deep process. And the fact that that card is above the sacred shamaness of release and destiny, it gives it even more impact, if you will. So above that, we see the beautiful goddess of sovereignty. The name of the card is the revelation of art. This woman was a seer. It was her job to tell about the lineage of kings and to know how the lineage was going to unfold. And so again, seeing the progression, we're talking about the lineage of your soul destiny. There were a lot of words that came through about, be in your place, understand that you're traveling. The very next card is the beautiful Queen of Skill, receiving you as you transform, holding you close, Spirit says, and bringing you into the realm of the King of Knowledge. The outcome card was about healing. So let's look at the center two cards. The first card out was the King of Battle. We see him sitting there in the center row in the light of the full moon. And once again, this month, this reading is being recorded on the full moon. It's astounding to me that this keeps coming up for you, and in general, the way the readings are coming out. Next to the King of Battle, we see someone, a student, Spirit says. Going into, the indication is this is a person who is a student of wisdom. Going into the sacred hut created by the King of Battle in order to have a journey. There was no light in there. You were meant to go in and stay for 24 hours. And upon coming out, sit before the teacher and have a discussion and make some notation and write some poetry. Spirit's telling me create poetry. There was no written language in those times. So things were handed down verbally. So with the King of Battle as the spirit theme, giving the notions and the light to guide the reading, this is a person who had a sacred transformation. Part of him was lost. In a battle, his hand was severed. He had to step off of his throne. One of his followers made him a silver hand. He was able to ascend to the throne, and through a mystical process of healing, his mortal hand grew back. What's interesting to me about this center row of cards, that's one of the cores of the reading. So we see this regestation happening, this deep shift and change under the guidance of all the spirit animals. This is about returning to the source. And we see the indication on the bridge card connecting your human journey to your spirit walk. And we see the reflection of that notion in every place in this reading. The King of Battle sits upon his throne in the mystical realm. And in this reading, he looks upon the woman of healing. One of the things I touched on last month, I started talking about the passage tomb at Fort Knox. The woman of healing is picking herbs and flowers from a gravestone. And I spoke about that a little bit, about seeing a reflection of that stone. After I came back from Ireland, I had no idea. And I just want to show you a picture of that. So it was her brother that she's picking okay, so sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. It is her brother who is buried there. It is her brother who was the mystical healer that helped the king of battle regrow his hand, regain an important part of himself. So that's a metaphor for the cards that you see in this reading, for the process that you're involved in, all of us in some way. When I was in the passage tomb at Fort Knox, I took this picture, and you can't tell by the picture in the card. Actually, you know what? Let me do this first. I'm going to toggle over. I'm going to hold up a picture of this card. There's the woman of knowledge. Do you see the stone? The herbs and flowers are literally growing up from the bones of her brother, who was a mystical healer. Here's the picture of the stone that I discovered when I was in Fort Knox. Isn't that astounding? It looks as if it's the same stone. So, given the fact that the three of the four characters who were involved in the story about the King of Battle showed up in your reading last month to talk with you about the type of transition and healing and the depth with which you were traveling. So take just a brief look at the center column of cards. Having been released, you are set on your journey. Still under the guidance of the teacher, going deep and transitioning through your connection to the mystical realm into this new life. And we see that in a cross pattern, Spirit says, in this reading. The other thing I'm just going to remind everybody, take a look at the bottom corner on the left and see how the energy rises through your being, the foundation of art, where that gentleman is meditating so deeply, becoming a seeker of knowledge. And at the top of that diagonal progression, we see the King of Knowledge. On the other side, bottom right, we see the Decider of Will. The energy rising again through your aspect, Spirit always says. And at the top of that diagonal progression, we see the Goddess of Sovereignty, who is creating the prophecy and revealing the art that comes to her in the mystical realm in order to be able to name the lineage of kings. And at the end of that spirit row on the top, there you sit. It was an amazing progression to see. I'm going to show you the stone one more time, and then we're going to jump into the cards for March. There's a lot of similarity in terms of the nature of the progression this month. So we'll toggle back and forth a little bit, but here are the cards for March. Oh, you know what? I forgot to make the transition. Sorry. Okay, so there's February. King of Battle, foundation of art, right in the center. As you were growing and changing and shifting, one of the things that Spirit's been talking about is the type of journey we're going to have in 2018. I know I spoke to that last month. It is being confirmed as all the readings came out for March. Here are the cards. Look at that. The Spirit card in this particular spread, in the place where the King of Battle was. With the outcome that you had last month, this is a significant change. That is the last card in the major arcana of this deck. Do you see the root chakra of that being? The triple spiral is there. There is a very deep awakening coming, and it's confirming the things that have been coming through. In some way, everybody's being put on notice, so to speak. This journey, this type of healing, this type of shift and change that is going to reformat your being is going to take a full year. That's what the breastplate with the 4 seasons indicates. It's also very important to understand that the sacred swastika is there in every section of the year. And Spirit's been talking with me about this first, a lot of words coming through. Basically, the message is about, okay, we're in the first quarter of the year. This first quarter, the quarters of the year are each going to have their own theme, I think. I think that's what I'm seeing evolving. So there's a lot of notation about this. If you don't know the information about the sacred swastika, it's a symbol that is many thousands of years old. It indicates the movement of the sacred feminine, among other things, the movement and the swirl of energy. So the message here at the end of the first quarter is to understand that your journey this year, that Spirit was talking about last month, is about perfecting this energy, undergoing the change in order to perfect some part of your awareness in your being. And last month we were talking all about awareness and stand in your place. It's a beautiful card. There is the sacred bowl, the type of bowl that we see in the passage tombs. When people passed away, their remains were cremated and they were taken into the passage tomb to await the solstice. And there were 3 altars in all the passage tombs. In each altar, there's a sacred bowl that held the remains. And this bowl is filled with water, life energy, abundance, tranquility, love energy, heart chakra activation. So there we see the completion that is promised for 2018. It's going to take the whole year, and you are going to have a complete awakening in some aspect of your being, some part of your, Spirit's talking about cognitive clarity. The triple spiral is right at the crown chakra. And the color of the card indicates, Spirit's been talking a lot about Kundalini awakening. So the chakras turning on in a way that you haven't experienced is part of what is coming to you. This is the light, the theme of the reading for March and for the entire year. So we'll continue to have the card spread the way it is, I think. I'm not getting anything that's telling me to change it. But I just wanted to give, enough attention to that concept. So let's look at the card that has to do with you. Given everything we saw last month, that is a prophecy. Your life is a prophecy. And those words that have come through from Spirit about you being your own purpose, that's a part of the message that is coming through to me this morning. So that's the augury of battle. Sitting next to the perfecter of energy. Again, it's a notation to the journey that you're going to be on for the rest of this year. The augury of battle is a prophecy about standing in the moment just before, Spirit says. Do you see this person in the purple garments? Purple, blue. It signifies transformation. An augury is a prophecy. It's a new beginning. That is the sacred sword of victory. Look at all the purity in which this person stands. And again, it's beautiful male energy, signifying the seed, the impetus, the will to go forward. All of those cards that were here last month brought you to this moment. It is the moment before you put your hands on the sword. So there is more preparation that is happening. You're still in process, but victory is assured. And I love that. Isn't it wonderful to have that kind of support in such a tangible, visible way about your journey? Last month, I was talking, I guess I should say, I'm going to transition back to the notion of arising, about the King of Battle, arising back to his throne, and the type of journey that you're on, arising into a new life, being released, so that this healing, Spirit saying reassemblage, so that the reassemblage could happen. In the first card on the human realm, we saw the beautiful shamaness. The first card in the human realm this month is the beautiful elopement of skill. After all the discussion that came through from Spirit about arising and ascending back to the throne, things like that, to have this as the first card on your human walk this month, incredibly profound and supportive of your journey. This is a story, and I've been talking all last year and the beginning of this year about the yin and yang. You guys are probably tired of hearing it. Spirit wants to continue to bring your attention to that. So here we see the blending of the male and female energy. This was a sacred couple. This woman had to go through a rebirth process of her own in a mystical way. There was a spell upon her, and it was keeping the two of them apart. She was turned into a fly by someone who was jealous. They were in a banquet hall in a celebration. So she flew into the mouth of one of the women at the celebration. That woman subsequently gave birth to her in this new format. And in that moment, she was able to run to her lover. They were able to embrace. Of course, there was a lot of shock and awe in that moment. The couple ran to the fireplace. And, and back in the day, right, imagine the gigantic fireplace in these halls. They embraced each other. It made their energy begin to swirl together. And they arose through the chimney, turned into swans, and flew away, transformed forever into the new life. And swans mate for life. So, on the playlist, this notion's been coming out a lot. On the playlist for March, there are videos that I put there just as an FYI about the constellation Cygnus, the swan, and what that has to do with the change of seasons and how the passage tombs are aligned with this energy. So it's really interesting to me, after that journey that I had in October and all the things that came out of that now Spirit is talking about this. Arising and aligning in this way for the journey of 2018. There is destiny unfolding on the human realm, Spirit says, so this is about your particular energy set point. The other thing that I love about the cards that came out for March, I'm going to toggle back to February. Take a look at the second card on the human walk on the bottom. We see this young man who's feeling like he's not ready. And his teacher is saying, sure, you're ready. You have the ethics, you have the desire, you have the dream. I know that you're not tested. I know that you have much to learn. That's okay. That's the way it's meant to be. This month, in the same position, we see a major arcana card. That is the counselor of truth. So that transition that you were in last month changed your energy, brought you forward into a very energetically powerful place. Okay, Spirit's telling me powerful is not the right word. Impactful is better. The counselor of truth would be the Hermit card in the traditional tarot. The counselor of truth seeks wisdom from within. This person has become his own touch point of knowledge and wisdom because he is so deeply in touch with that which has come to him through his wandering into the wilderness of the mystical realm. And what I love about this is, last month we were seeing all these cards and images of transformation and rebirth and travel, etc. And this is the place in your human realm into which you have transformed to prepare you to go forward in 2018. And Spirit's saying, trust yourself, understand the knowledge deep within you, allow yourself to access that and become a touchstone of wisdom in your life. Don't doubt yourself in these moments. There's still much to learn, but you have been prepared by the journey that's been coming forward since the beginning of the year. It's beautiful. All right, so the last card on the human walk on the bottom row is the foundation of art. Take a look at February and where that card stood. That was you right in the center of the reading. And now we see that movement, having been promised last month, has not only brought you forward, causing this arising and this reemergence as the counselor of truth. And from that place, you go deeper still, because in that place last month, we had the decider of will. And your will has brought you to this moment of desire, Spirit says. It's truly beautiful on the day of the full moon for this to be coming forward. The bridge card that indicates the connection between the human walk and the vision, the reflection of that in the heavens, so to speak, the mystical realm, the universe, whatever word you want to put on it, I don't care. I try to be disconnected, not to get sort of all wound around that stuff into dogma. There we see the notation of a soul journey. Look at the cards again for February. Look at the card that was in the place of the soul, the bridge card, last month. The Spirit saying, do you see, beautiful Sag? Okay, I'm getting emotional. That's always a sign for me. Information comes into me through my heart chakra very often. And so there's a lot of emotion in the moment in the spirit realm about you, for you, an intense amount of love and compassion and a deep desire for you to see your journey and the reality of what it really indicates and means for you and for all who walk alongside you, Spirit says. The beautiful soul that is activated. Do you see the slumber and the difference between the way this person is slumbering this month and the way the slumber happened last month? Do you see the gentleman on the bottom right slumbering and ensnared? And now there is freedom. And there's the Kundalini awakening along the spine that we saw in the Perfector. The card that brought us the light and the theme for what was going to be happening this month. And the slumbering is an indication of the human experience. It is a positive thing. It's not a negative. It's just kind of, we're humans. We have to walk in a certain way. And Spirit's saying that's changing now. So, the soul rises through this journey on the road. Okay, Spirit's saying on the road to your awareness and your redemption, reclaiming yourself, which was the mission of the king of battle last month. This is how far you've come. The soul goes through the portal. Okay, Spirit's saying here on the full moon. So just be aware. That's the other message that's coming through. The full moon cycles this year are going to be extraordinarily important. That message comes out every reading so far this month. There's something happening. Okay, Spirit's talking about the portal, the shift, the tides, opening and closing, following the energy, being aware on a spiritual basis of that type of cycle and that type of, Spirit's talking about rapid and frequent aperture about the moon. Okay, so there you are. The Spirit rises, goes through a portal with its back to the physical realm, off into the universe to have its journey. There's the sacred pole, and there's the triple spiral at the crown chakra, just like in the card that has everything to do with the light about this reading. Pretty amazing. So, above that, on the spirit realm, having arisen, Spirit says, we see that where you are going, like this couple did, they had a shift and change. They flew off into the universe, so to speak. your soul arises. Literally, given the depiction in the illustration, into another prophecy, the augury of skill, the ability to be in a new place and develop new skills going forward and send them out from your being. The very next card is another major arcana card. That is the Imaginer of Harmony. And so the skill set you're developing is going to be a dual set of skills about having a touchstone with yourself, understanding the journey you're on, and building new skills. While on that journey, you will be focusing on bringing harmony into your life. And Spirit is talking again about the people that you walk with. It's interesting because I've not heard that come through before now. So there we are. Spirit was talking about the full moon, the cycles of the moon. And there we are. That sacred vessel can take you any place you want to go. And where you're going is deep. It's a beautiful notation. So, when full moon comes, light some candles, have some meditation, just enjoy the energy, Spirit says. And then the very last card on the Spirit realm is, again, the beautiful goddess of sovereignty. And her focus, her place of energy set point is transition. Here's February. There's March. There's a lot of movement of energy. And that's why Spirit was talking about the rapid opening and closing of the aperture. And I think what Spirit's talking about is, a portal of sorts, a way that you can access this journey. And the outcome is the beautiful warrior of battle. It's a beautiful outcome given the journey that you've been on. And take a look at February. Look at the center column of cards. A new baby, a new life, the king, a prophecy. And there you stand, having been reformed as a beautiful, youthful, strong warrior, able to provide that which is needed. His sword is at the tip of the spiral that's been so prominent in this reading. He is open from the will center all the way up. He's looking forward to his journey because he is ready. He has this new foundation. And that behind him is actually what the sacred passage tomb at 4 Knocks, it looks exactly like that. It's a very unimposing little mound. So it's interesting to me that Spirit is referencing that as you go forward. So here in March, there is a completion of the first part of this journey, the integration of all the things that came forward from the days of, Spirit's saying the passage tombs, the days of the solstice, I'm going to say, all right? There's been a lot of travel going on, enabling us to be standing on this new foundation so we can have the journey of 2018. So the first 3 months of this year have been about assimilation and coming into this place of strength because there is a new journey coming forward. Sag, it's been wonderful. I'm going to toggle back to the cards. It's been wonderful to be with you once again. I look forward to seeing all your messages on the thread below the video. I said this, I think, last month. Keep a journal. Keep a little dream journal. When you wake up and you have an incredible dream, it tends to vanish. Just jot it down. Anything that comes to you, because of the depth of this type of journey. And Spirit's saying, take a look at those videos about Cygnus. It's very interesting. There's been a lot going on in the background, just like your life. There's all kinds of things unfolding here. I've not had the time, unfortunately, for the last 2 months to respond to people on the thread of discussion below the video. I want you to know I always look at that. I always stop and look, and it does fill me with joy. So thank you for your love and your support and your encouragement. I'm very grateful for that as I'm on my own journey. Have a wonderful month, and I look forward to speaking with you in April.